Why did the Queen of Westeros bring a knife to the council meeting?
I don't have the brain function to think about it, so I'm just gonna say because she was a bitch.
Bitch. Because in her court, everyone's a little too sharp for diplomacy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, she wouldn't bring a blunt knife, would she?
Ah.
Hello and welcome to Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 3, The Queen's Justice. We have full length reactions on Patreon in the description. There's also other links like Twitter, Discord, Letterboxd, Album of the Year. Last time we had Stormborn, which was a bad episode.
Oh, very bad.
Yeah. Thoughts going into the Queen's Justice?
Oh boy, it's just waiting for another exciting episode. After this episode... No, we're not halfway through. We'll be nearly halfway through already, through the season. So, something has to happen this episode, surely. You'd hope so. That's what my hope is. I'm assuming it's either going to be an episode for Cersei or Daenerys because of the title.
Would you not count Euron capturing Yara Greyjoy as a happening after the battle?
I mean, it's a thing that happened, yes. Oh yeah, I totally blocked that on my head that last scene happened because it was that bad. Yeah. It's just... Oh, God.
As I teased in the last one, the name The Queen's Justice has multiple meanings. And you mentioned Cersei and Daenerys, and I said it means 3 women, and those are 2 of them. And I also said that my thoughts on this episode are somewhat complicated. Because there's things, and then there's also things.
There's things, there's also things.
Yeah. That's my thoughts. Yeah.
Oh boy.
What do you think? What do you like? Where we're at in the story?
What I think about the story, man, I can't wait to finish the story because this is just. It's not, normally in other seasons, in like the last 2 seasons, there are a lot of times where the show was spinning its wheels while other things were happening. The first 2 episodes of the season kind of just it's paddling along in a way that isn't that interesting, unfortunately.
Would you say that in a 7 episode season is a much bigger issue than a 10 episode season?
I'm not sure. This season it's first episode, not a lot actually happened, but you had like a really good section with the Hound. He was like the best part about the episode because it was to do with his character more than anything else, which, there's some stuff you can do with that, and they did decent stuff. It's whether they in the future do more stuff with that, which would be interesting. Everything else though was very slow and lacked a lot of oomph to it compared to other seasons' opening episodes.
Well, also the other factor you have to remember is that like there are slow episodes in early Game of Thrones, but they're really good.
There are.
I've said this before, but the biggest example I can think of that is the 2nd episode of season 2, The Nightlands. It's a very slow episode, but all the scenes have purpose and they're really well written. Like them learning a lot about what's going on at Craster's Keep, and Jon finds that the White Walkers are taking a baby, and then he gets knocked out by Craster, or Davos Seaworth negotiating with Salladhor Saan to have his ships for Blackwater, or Stannis impregnating the Red Woman, Tyrion banishing Janos Slynt to the Wall after he killed those babies, like Robert's bastards. There's a lot, and also like Theon going back to the Iron Islands. Like there's a lot of very purposeful and interesting storylines and scenes, and as I said, it's a very slow episode, but compared to this, it kind of feels right. Doesn't have this kind of issue where it feels like it's just sort of doing nothing or doing very little of purpose. It's like that there is a way you can do like a slow-paced character dialogue episode and do it really well, but this is not it.
Previous seasons, when it was really slow, it felt like, even though there was still a lot of material being done that you could actually dissect and where it could potentially go. The last 2 seasons haven't felt like that in almost any way. But maybe this is the one that will turn it around, eh? Maybe this will be the one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure when season 7 starts to become eventful, it actually becomes good, right? And not worse. Are we ready for the Queens of Justice?
I'm ready for some justice. I'm a big fan of justice.
Justice. Yeah, so why does that have the Baratheon sigil on it? It should be Lannister.
I don't know. They've just never changed it in the how many years since Robert died.
Yeah, well, when the Boltons took Winterfell, they changed the sigil.
Well, I guess the idea would be, well, yeah, they were Lannisters.
Well, no, Cersei. Cersei's not a Baratheon.
Yeah,
she never changed her last name, and it's not like she's being a representative. She is the queen.
Was Joffrey's last name was Baratheon, wasn't it? Not
That's
Lannister.
correct. Same as Tommen.
Yeah. It's weird with Joffrey. I don't think I ever hear people talk about his last name other than it's just Joffrey. It's just Joffrey.
In a formal setting, they would say it, like the King Joffrey of House Baratheon.
I don't think about Tommen or Joffrey in their last names compared to everybody else.
When Stannis is putting the leeches in the fire, he says Joffrey Baratheon. He says the usurper Joffrey Baratheon, the usurper Robb Stark, the usurper Balon Greyjoy.
I like how in this opening you got the library that is like this intro, but also you got the sun in the intro at the same time.
Yeah, true.
That's quite funny.
Destiny.
Water.
I'm actually like kind of annoyed that Stannis didn't get this kind of cinematography when he was at Dragonstone. It's because he's not as important as Dany.
He's arrived already. Wow. You know what I love? Teleportation.
Right, so Tyrion killed Davos Seaworth's son at Blackwater, so this should be a pretty interesting conflict.
Well, there should be at least some bitterness you'd expect.
You were pissing off the edge, if I remember right.
Ah, season 1.
Picked up some scars along the road.
It's been a long road, but we're both still here.
Yeah.
Unluckily for me.
And Sandy?
Oh, yeah.
That's a line, I guess. That's a line.
I guess he's being diplomatic.
There would be he would have bitterness. I know he's a good person, but he would have bitterness. But he would still get on with it. It's all very formal.
Missandei is, well, I would say freshly shagged, but Grey Worm does not have a penis, so I guess not. Freshly eaten.
Palm trees and butterflies. Haven't been myself.
Why?
This has changed.
Why? Oh yeah, this is Davos coming back to Dragonstone.
Yeah. This is also very sunny and very warm in colours. You're actually right. This did not look as good as this in season 3 or 2
or 4.
To be honest, I was drunk for most of it.
Yeah, we know. That's
I mean,
lampshading.
It was only like 2 seasons worth of story.
He wasn't drunk for the first
John.
one. He wasn't first drunk in season 5.
What didn't he throw up at the beginning of the season?
Oh, yeah, true. Fair enough.
But I'm not a Stark.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's foreshadowing.
I mean, I like how they're like, oh yeah, we're not scared because we know there were dragons, even though it still jump scared everybody.
I think a lot of these conversations are very metafiction. It's like, what is the audience thinking, not what are they thinking?
That. Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I felt like the first, like, this first opening scene is very meta.
I've brought ice and fire together.
Strange.
I'm sick of your mystical bullshit, to be quite honest.
I did not part on good terms with the king in the north, or his advisor.
I tried to shag him.
Because of mistakes I made.
What have I become now that I'm betrayed?
Oh god, don't.
I will return, dear spider. One last time.
My lady.
I have to die in this.
This is so... Oh, this is just like so... meta. I hate it.
Yeah.
This feels like the most like...
I like Conleth Hill chewing the scenery, but that's it.
Oh yeah, he's great as always. He was actually the best part about this scene. He felt a little bit more like Varys. But, like, this opening has felt insanely meta. That was like Chibnall's setup of, like...
This is a huge moment in the show. This is the first time Jon's met Daenerys. This is a massive scene.
Arguably the two most popular characters in terms of, like, normie audiences.
Oh, I'd say Tyrion Lannister probably counts in that.
Yeah, but you get what I mean.
Stan culture, you mean?
Unburnt, the breaker of chains.
Okay.
This is Jon Snow. He's king in the north.
Thank you for traveling so far, my lord. But I could have sworn I read the last king in the north was Torrhen Stark, who bent the knee to my...
So she doesn't know about Robb.
No. You'd think she would. You know, that Tyrion would fucking say what's happened.
Yeah.
Or do I have my facts wrong?
I wasn't there.
Well, yeah, you do.
No.
Your father burned my grandfather alive. He burned my uncle alive. He would have burned the Seven
My
Kingdoms.
father was an evil man. On behalf of House Targaryen,
Don't like the way she said that.
I am the last Targaryen, Jon Snow. Honor the pledge your ancestor made to mine. Bend the knee, and I will name you Warden of the North. Together, we will save this country from those who would destroy it.
He's not going to do that. He shouldn't, at this point, anyway.
All of whom have sworn to kill for me.
They're hard to miss.
But still, I need your help.
Not to defeat Cersei. You could storm King's Landing tomorrow and the city would fall.
Oh, yep.
The only reason I can see is you don't want to kill thousands of innocent people. It's the fastest way to win the war, but you won't. You're better than Cersei.
Not hard.
Not a terrorist, yeah. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, not at this point.
The White Walkers are real. The Night King is real. I've seen them. If they get past the wall and we're squabbling amongst ourselves, we're finished.
Yeah, they do what they do in Season 8, and it makes this scene seem really stupid now.
He fought those things for the good of his people. He risked his life for his people. He took a knife in the heart for his people. He gave his own...
Why are they so afraid to talk about it?
Yeah, I don't know why.
This entire thing is futile, given what happens later.
Yeah. At this point in time, I think this scene in isolation makes Jon a much stronger character.
But then things happen, don't they?
Mm-hmm. He had more... His argumentation was way more stronger than hers. She was very much bitter and...
The
annoyed.
point about sins of the father is quite hypocritical because she blamed Jon for Ned's mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I found that very strange.
Davos and Jon were the standouts in that exchange, to me.
Except for why? Why are they not talking about the fact that he was stabbed and came back?
There's no real reason for that.
She's met the Red Woman.
Oh my god, it's fatter. It's like a fatter version.
What are you trying to say? All Vikings are the same?
No, it's a fatter version of Euron.
You got away. I couldn't save her.
I tried.
You didn't, though. You jumped off.
Be here if you tried.
Exactly. I don't know why you lied.
Also, why didn't Euron capture Theon?
Oh, we've already gone over that. It's dumb.
Oh, speak of the devil.
What a weird little scene. That's like almost kind of not needed at this point.
Oh, I hate this fucking
Jesus.
bastard.
What? Oh, he's such a fucking jester.
To quote CM Punk, you're a fucking clown.
Oh, please stop.
Cheering for Greyjoy.
Why are you just talking to yourself?
I have to be honest. This is making me hard.
What the fuck?
Oh no! What a twat.
That delivery was quite funny.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
lie.
Oh, you can tell Pilar's having fun with the role.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
But that, to be fair, that line delivery was pretty funny.
it was very football.
Yeah, what a twat.
But it was just weird. He's like, I gotta be honest, it's making me hard.
Yeah, if just make him more bantery in insulting people rather than being like, oh, I'm a fucking freak. I'm a freak jester. Imagine if he was like stoic, like he didn't react, he just was doing his job in that scene, everyone was praising him, but he had like a slight smile, maybe.
Oh, what, like Book Euron?
How, yeah. I don't even know about Book Euron, really.
Once you meet Book Euron, you'll realise the difference.
It's like he just has to be like a normal person, but enjoys being praised. Surely they just get... What, at least the daughter gets murdered, surely. I can't remember if she's alive at the end of the show.
And a true friend to the crown.
You deserve more than a true friend.
And you deserve a proper reward for your heroism.
There's only one reward I want.
Buzzy, 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 buzzy.
I want... sex.
I want to spill my seed, my queen.
You should offer us some elephants.
And Jaime Lannister leading our armies.
Oh no, I recognise this frame. No.
To defend our country.
I know what's coming next. One of the best lines of all time. Say it. Say the line. Say the line, Bart.
Advice? Does she like it gentle or rough? A finger in the bum. Not now. We'll talk later.
Jesus Christ. So Jamie acknowledged that they spat on Cersei in the Walk of Atonement.
Wow.
I'm just thinking, like, how is there not a massive rebellion against her for being a terrorist against the Faith Militant?
She was mine. And you took her from me. Why did you do that?
This is sort of how I thought she would react when Tommen died.
You must have felt powerful after you made that choice. Do you feel powerful now?
This is the best Cersei has been this season so far.
I thought about having Sir Gregor crush your skull the way he did Oberyn's. Would be poetic, I suppose.
No.
Fast.
You leave her alive and let her know that all her daughters are dead.
I thought of this lovely face cracking open like a duck egg. No, it's just not right.
She is on fire in this scene. Oh god, wow. It's quite sadistic. Oh no.
Cleverest man I know. Clever enough to learn.
They did the same thing.
Long goodbye, was that it?
The long farewell.
That's the one. But death is certain.
Oh, yes. Quite certain.
I think we have the best scene of the season so far.
Oh, yeah.
The acting is, like, insanely good.
I feel like D&D may have written a scene when they did season 5, like, this is what's going to happen later.
They plan that. Well, yeah, I'd imagine they plan for this to be the resolution.
Make sure the guards change the torches every few hours. I don't want her to miss a thing.
Fucking hell.
Great scene.
That was so good.
Yep.
It was shot so well. Fucking hell. I don't think a scene is going to top that this season. And now she's horny. Murder makes her very horny. No, Jamie, fight it.
What she say to Scepter bloody what's her face? Shame.
Oh my god.
And she's like, I like feeling
Cut
my
away.
brother. Oh,
Cut away.
his ass!
Cut away. No.
That's Danish bottom.
Cut away.
Oh, isn't that so cute? Oh, breasts.
Oh, wow. He does not give a shit. She does not give a shit anymore.
And we'll need fresh sheets for the bed. Advance your...
That's disgusting.
Yeah, just to let you know, we did definitely fuck. I don't think he would be chuckling about it, though, to be fair.
Hello.
My condolences.
Oh my god, it's Margitas.
The destruction of the Sept of Baelor was a tragic accident.
Indeed.
Decapitated the Dornish snake. My armada owns the Narrow Sea.
Euron Greyjoy's armada owns the Narrow Sea.
Euron Greyjoy is loyal to me.
For now.
Until he gets his shag in, really.
I'm guessing the Iron Bank invested considerable gold in the slave trade. How are your profits? Now that Daenerys has freed all the slaves.
No, that's not how it works.
Well, I think we have an MVP of the episode, at least.
Yeah.
Not this guy.
Not this fucking twaddle.
I came down here to brood over my failure to predict the Greyjoy attack. You're making it difficult. You look a lot better brooding than I do.
This is so autistic.
Yeah.
White Walkers, the Night King, Army of the Dead. It's almost a relief to confront a comfortable, familiar monster like my sister.
I like the idea of this, I just don't like the way the dialogue's written. It's very simple. Doesn't feel like a conversation, it feels like they're reading lines.
She protects people from monsters, just as you do. That's why she came
Why
here.
does this feel like a quest cutscene?
Yeah.
Go around, talk to people, get a feel of what they think of the Queen.
It's meta dialogue. It's not a conversation.
Normally, that dialogue is at least somewhat better than this.
Yeah.
Like, the Baldur's Gate 3 has good dialogue.
It does.
Are you trying to present your own statements as ancient wisdom?
I would never do that. To you.
Not funny.
No.
Take a step toward a more productive relationship with a possible ally. Keep him occupied.
He's not wrong. There's literally no downside to this.
That Sir Davos said about taking a knife in the heart for his people. Did you notice that?
You must allow them to fight the fantasy.
Oh, that line. Did you notice that? What a shit line. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
God, that was such an awkward line.
Yeah.
That was also a very awkward thing to just bring up.
It's very stilted.
Yeah.
You lost two brothers as well.
3.
People
Yeah.
thought dragons were gone forever, but here they are.
He doesn't know that Bran's alive.
Perhaps we should all be examining what we think we know.
Yeah. He literally has no clue. Unless they're insinuating that he's received a raven that he's at the wall.
Well, the alternative is that she doesn't know who Robb is for some reason. She seemingly didn't know because she said Torrhen Stark was the last king in the North. So she just doesn't... She knows that Bran and Rickon were killed by Theon. She doesn't know about Robb's existence. That's weird.
So you believe me then about the Night King and the army of the dead?
You'd better get to work, Jon Snow.
You're right, this is very cutscene, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. No, but bad cutscene.
Oh, look at him.
You could have at least had her like look at him and have her hesitate and then say that. It's not a great... It's just, yeah. There's a way to do that reaction, and they didn't do it well.
You're telling me we don't have enough food? Especially not if the armies of the North come back to defend Winterfell.
No, my lady.
How about you throw your sonic ring, and maybe you'll spawn some food.
Are they covering those breastplates in leather?
No, my lady.
Shouldn't they be? Once the real cold comes?
They should indeed. Pardon me, my lady.
Like Sansa would know about that.
But Connor, Sansa is around very smart people, so she'll say very smart things. How Mauler describes her in season 8 is very apt. She's just like... Because she's around smart people, she absorbs their knowledge and like IQ.
Well, Bran does that, but not Sansa.
Why are you still here?
Fight every battle, everywhere, always. In your mind.
What are you saying? What does this mean?
She looks confused by what he's saying.
Every possible series of events is happening all at once. Live that way, and nothing will surprise you. Everything that happens will be something that you've seen before.
Okay.
He's just like, I believe in anything and chaos and wild possibilities.
I just don't get why he's sticking around.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't understand his true motive apart from wanting to be on the Iron Throne. I don't understand how he plans to get there.
To leave. Oh wow, he's just turned up. Why does he look so weird? Why is he just so apathetic to everything?
He downloaded too many viruses.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good reaction. What is wrong with him? Why are you making him act like this? He's no longer a human.
I can never be Lord of Winterfell. I can never be Lord of anything.
Oh, really?
Three-eyed raven.
Oh, yup.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, something you don't know. Wow. He didn't act like this at all in season 6. Why the sudden change in, like, how he talks and how he acts?
Bran.
I'm sorry for all that's happened to you. I'm sorry it had to happen here, in our home. It was so beautiful that night. Snow falling.
Why are you talking about this, Bran?
Yeah, why you bring it up?
She was raped.
This is really traumatic for her to bring it up. Oh my god, why are you being so weird? What are you doing? This is so creepy.
It's your sister.
That's right, that's so creepy. Ugh, why would you write that?
Notice how he says I'll never be Lord of anything, but, you know, season 8 happens.
Why do you think I came all this way?
I mean, technically he's not a lord.
How did this fucking happen?
I gave him magic beans.
You, honestly, he surprisingly looks good for, you know, that shit being removed from him. I imagine it would feel like sunburn, but like...
Times 10.
Times like 5. Yeah. I got sunburn in Italy, and it was not fun.
It's like when CM Punk got the MRSA infection and they just gave him antibiotics. Ah, yeah. Making jokes about it.
Ryback just, power on him on the floor. Because he's stupid.
I'd like to speak with you in my study this evening.
Why did he think this was going to work when he says, like, oh, the climate fixed me? So yeah, this is bullshit, by the way. The fact that Sam has just fixed him.
And he's just going. He's also just going, by the way. It's just like, not, let's just wait and see what happens. Could he not just be like, wait here like a week and let's see what happens to be safe? We don't know how this works. Would that not be a reasonable thing to do? Am I being stupid?
Your father saved me more than once. It's the least I could do.
Perhaps our paths will cross again.
Yeah, probably very soon, actually.
This is very, like, romantic.
Wow, Connor. Homophobic much?
No, it's more so the fact that...
I do like that. Actually, I do like this moment, actually.
Yeah, they're good actors.
Well, his acting is very good, because, like, actually getting to touch someone is, like...
Yeah.
Would be quite cathartic for him.
Yeah, because he hasn't touched someone in, like, over 2 seasons.
Yeah, really great scene. Moment. Really great moment, that.
You succeeded. How? I read the book and followed the instructions.
This is so rubbish. So Sam's just a really special guy.
Mm.
Your own ships could be anywhere, or in more than one place. You'd be flying around the open seas alone for who knows how long.
Oh, this is a funny conversation, isn't it?
I would have Drogon, Viserion, and Rhaegal. What can anyone do to them?
She's so arrogant, it's insane.
This is a hilarious conversation.
She feels so arrogant that just wouldn't be the case. Her thing wasn't like being like an arrogant person.
Casterly Rock.
No one has ever taken the rock.
Looks like shit.
The Lannister army is still the army my father built.
So this is a massive journey because they have to go all the way around the south of the island and then all the way up into the west.
Yeah, but Connor, we need a fight to end the episode. Can't believe they're doing this like 2 episodes in a row.
I hate the way Casterly Rock looks in this. It looks so generic. It's supposed to look like Gibraltar.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to look so clean and just simple.
It's supposed to look like a big rock with windows in it.
That's what I thought was going to be the case.
Like Gibraltar. I think it's in Spain, Gibraltar? Or Morocco, or Croatia or something.
Father disapproved of that sort of behavior. Couldn't walk them through the front gates.
Well, no, he didn't. He just disapproved of you doing it.
I wouldn't think Game of Thrones would do a voiceover montage.
Well, they got to speed through things, don't they?
It feels very out of place for Game of Thrones in style and vibe.
10 good men.
They've only got 7 episodes. Oh yeah, he just quoted Bronn. Even though they didn't use
Remember that line? No, Connor, you missed the line.
But they didn't use climbing spikes.
You missed the line, Connor.
It's not the same. It's not the same as what Bronn said.
Give me good 10 men. I'll impregnate the bitch. Yeah, this just feels like it is very much just like we're speeding through this thing because we know we don't have enough episodes. Oh, that looked awful.
I mean, why would we actually do a story at Casterly Rock?
Oh, and that's what actually happened.
Okay, so how the fuck did you not see them coming?
You didn't hear the many explosions for like however long you were fighting?
Yeah, how did they? It's a massive fleet. It is a massive fleet. How did you not see them coming?
They would have noticed that long ago. The little waddle. That looks so silly.
Bloody Grey Worm's confused Pikachu face when he was looking at the Iron Fleet. It just makes Grey Worm seem like an idiot. He just did not have any clue that the Iron Fleet were coming.
Speaking of Bronn.
Ah, this is Highgarden.
Ah, I wonder why they're going there.
Okay, so...
Bloody hell, that music is good.
Yeah. They didn't even show how they got inside the castle. Like, what happened to all of their defenses?
We're just gonna cut to it. And
do you remember when the Tyrell army... Remember the Tyrell army in Season 2? Like, Renly's army? How amazing it was?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I can assume what their scene is. We need to get to it quickly.
You took your army, your real army, and went where they weren't.
As Robb Stark did to me at Whispering Moon. There are always lessons.
Oh,
Yes.
parallels.
You must be.
Widow's Wail.
He really was a cunt, wasn't he?
Didn't he call it like heart, something else like Heart Eater or something?
Before.
Yeah.
She's a monster, you do know that.
To you, I'm sure. To others as well. But after we've won, and there's no one left to oppose.
She blew up a building.
You love her. You really do love her. You poor fool. She'll be the end of you.
Possibly.
Oh, God, please stop.
Will there be pain?
No, I made sure of that.
That's good.
Right to drinking.
I'd hate to die like your son. Clawing at my neck. Foam and bile spilling from my mouth. Eyes blood red. Skin purple. A shocking scene. Not at all what I intended. You see, I'd never seen the poison work before. Tell Cersei. I wanted to know it was me.
Oh, rest in peace. Such a great actress.
Yeah.
Right, Callum, your thoughts on the Queen's Justice?
Surprisingly not bad. I was actually very surprised how much there was stuff to really enjoy in this episode. Mainly from the Lannisters.
There were two great scenes for me, and then the rest of it I wasn't keen on. The Cersei and, you know, Alari San, Tyene San scene was great, and then the end. Not the way they entered High Garden, but just the last dialogue scene with Jaime and Olenna was great too. For me, they're probably the two highlights of Season 7, those two scenes. Which is why my thoughts on the Queen's Justice are quite complicated, because I think the rest of the episode is really weak, and has a lot of weak dialogue.
Oh, yeah. It has weak moments, definitely weak dialogue spread throughout.
Yeah. Multiple issues.
It's compared to the first two episodes, even those scenes, I think, quite a sad indictment, but I at least preferred those scenes to a lot of the scenes in the last two episodes.
Yeah, I think this episode is wrought with issues, but it's better than the first two.
Yeah, quite easily, I'd say.
Yeah. Olenna Tyrell's one of the characters that managed to survive the late seasons for the most part. There's a couple of issues. The reaction to Marjorie's and Mace's death in the end of Season 6 wasn't good enough, and some of her dialogue with Daenerys last episode wasn't my favourite either. But apart from that, she was basically untouched in the show, and I'm very happy for that. But I love that her ending is revealing to Jaime that she killed Joffrey. I think that's such a great way to cap off her character. Like, especially because Jaime was being kind to not have her like brutally massacred.
Yeah, she drinks her poison. It's non-lethal in terms of pain. So she basically will sleep to death. So she dies very peacefully.
Jaime, in that moment
after showing mercy, then says, "I killed your fucking son. Eat shit."
Yeah, Jaime could have, if he wanted to, drawn his sword and stabbed her for doing that. But I think he realized it was pointless because she was going to die anyway.
Yeah,
and
she'd already won. In ways, she had already won.
Yeah. So he just sort of admitted to... It's weird because she dies in that scene, but in a way, she actually wins, and Jaime loses.
Yeah. Not seeing her die, even though obviously by next episode we know she will be dead. Not seeing her die puts that emphasis on that as well.
She's a really old woman who is dying at a reasonable age to die as well.
Oh yeah, she lived her life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having her not die in that scene specifically is actually quite a nice touch.
Yeah, I think as a end scene for Olena's character, it's really good. My issue with High Garden is that they don't show the takeover.
No, they don't show the battle at all because, you know, again, same as I believe it was last episode, not showing stuff what they should have.
Yeah, and I can't realistically assume in good faith that it was as easy as it was. Like, for them to make it that easy, they need to show how, for me, to actually believe it. I feel like it's, given that they have castle walls, given that the Tyrell army in the past in the show has been shown to be very competent at what they do, just in terms of medieval battle tactics and, as I said, castle walls, unlike Ramsay last season, the idea that High Garden was this easily disposed of without seeing how, I think is a problem. And this is, for me, the episode that really exemplifies the issue with the pacing in season 7. Like, this was very breakneck in terms
especially
of like
the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, in terms of like Casterly Rock and High Garden. So yeah, my issue with High Garden is the takeover, but the Olenna death scene is a highlight.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the dialogue is actually relatively like really strong, and it feels almost out of place with this season so far. Even this episode alone, the dialogue was quite horrific at times. Yeah, and to have a scene in that scene, like her saying, "You poor fool, she'll be the end of you. She is a disease."
So I'm sure you can figure out now that the Queen of Thorns is the third queen that got justice, because it's her justice in the sense that she
already had her justice, really.
Yeah, she killed Joffrey. No. And after Cersei killed Marjorie and Mace Tyrell, she's now getting her justice, being like, I died painlessly
It's quite funny to think about how that moment, in a very long stringed way, she killed her family, because that it's like a falling dominoes of Joffrey dies, Tommen is in power, married to Marjorie, then the High Scepter corrupts Tommen, eventually Cersei then blows up the scepter.
Also, this episode focused a lot on the people who were the cause of the death of Cersei's children. So you obviously had Olenna with Joffrey, you had Ilaria Sand with Marcella, and of course Cersei herself unintentionally killed Tommen.
Yeah, this is very much about death from children and the elders sort of, you know, what they've done in those regards.
Yeah, but the fact that Olenna got her justice in the sense that she died painlessly, and then Jaime knows, like, and will probably tell Cersei that Olenna was the one that killed Joffrey, and Cersei will never be able to get her nasty revenge on her like she did with Ilaria Sand. It's a very good thematic connection. I think, for me, the part of the Queen's Justice thematically, in terms of the title, that I don't like is the Daenerys part, but we'll get to that. So, let's talk about Dragonstone. Jon Snow, Tyrion, Davos, Daenerys.
Oh, this is so mixed for me. It's so mixed.
Yeah, it's weird. There's bits in here that make sense, there's bits that don't. It's just, it's a big clusterfuck, and the dialogue, I think the issue is that a lot of the good ideas are spoiled in this episode by really paint-by-numbers dialogue and delivery.
I think that's very much a case of Daenerys. I think she's... That scene at the the opening bit is very meta, as we said. It feels very much like fan writing rather than naturally what they would actually say. You got Davos, who is just very nice to everybody, even though his son died because of Tyrion, and he kind of doesn't have any bitterness towards him, which he probably should. Instead
of showing the inner conflict of having to be impartial with the man who's responsible for your son's death, he's trying to make small talk with Missandei for practical
It feels
humor.
like something that they would have done in season 3 and 4. Like, if they had to work with Tyrion, he would feel that he would have bitterness towards him. And I'm not saying he would not willingly work with him, because he understands the greater good, but there still would be that bitterness, and he should have that in this scene towards Tyrion at the start. And it doesn't...
When he sees that there is a small man that he knows is Tyrion on the beach, there should be shots of him, like, tensing up, at the very least.
Yeah. Or at least has a stern look whenever he talks or faces Tyrion.
And whenever he talks to Tyrion, he should be at least a little bit on edge, but keeping his anger from, like, spoiling the fact that Jon needs to parlay with Daenerys.
Yeah.
But instead they made a lot of jokes. Because that's what they... Not only jokes, but a lot of references. Like, this season has been very fan servicey, especially towards season 1. There's been a lot of fan service. A lot of references.
Kind of the first episode, really.
Yeah. I mean, that's my main issue with the conversation that Jon and Tyrion have on the cliff, is that it doesn't feel like they're talking about how they feel in that moment. It feels like they're talking about, oh, this is what's happened since I last saw you. Like, it's very referencey.
You know what this episode also has the issue of? It has the Stephen Moffat, hellbent, Heaven Sent issue, where the point that they've written, the writer itself seemingly is ignoring it, because next season, you have literally the whole point of the show being spelled out to us about this petty squabble that is the Game of Thrones. And then, you know, the actual fear is the army of the dead, and they need to come together.
Thematically, the idea in the source material from George R.R. Martin is that, in terms of allegory, it's supposed to be, oh, there's all these, you know, bitterness and politics and left and right and authoritarians and libertarians and people playing for power and lies and deceit, when actually climate change will kill us all in the end anyway, and it doesn't matter. That's supposed to be the allegory of the White Walkers. But as you say, once you get to the actual last season of the show, they make it the opposite. The petty squabbles are actually what matters, and the climate change
Cersei's the final boss.
Yeah.
Then it actually is Daenerys who's the final boss.
Yeah, and what is supposed to embody the allegory for an environmental, you know, catastrophe is destroyed like a hive mind. But we'll get to that when we get to the Long Night. But yeah, in terms of foreshadowing, it is very funny watching these scenes. Things like, oh, you know, I knew I could trust you because you didn't immediately kill King's Landing and burn people. So you're better than Cersei. It's like hilarious.
There was so much even in the last scene of the episode, it was foreshadowing what eventually happens, which just makes it like the fact that they thought all these ideas were good ideas and they planned it out from this season is like, man, this show was always going to fall apart, wasn't it? Intentionally writing that is just insane.
Yeah, especially when you remove major characters from the source material who have crucial parts to play in those end goals, and then you're having to assign them to other characters who they don't fit. Obviously, we haven't had enough of that yet, because we'll get to it when we get to season 8, but an earlier example of that is when they gave Jane Paul's-Arc to Sansa in season 5, and it's just so strange to see Littlefinger give her to Ramsay, and it's just completely out of left field. The way they just...
we'll get to that. We'll reference that part in a bit in another scene in this episode, but yeah. So the actual...
Assigning a character arc from, you know, the source material to someone else and not having it make sense, like, it's just so strange. All because Dave and Dan feel like, oh, well, we need to adhere to the end goal that Martin has given us, so we have to find a way to get there, and the only way they decide to do it is just force it to happen. You know, without actually including the crucial, you know, elements that are needed to have it make work.
So the actual, I guess you could say, throne room, the actual throne room scene itself, it's teetering on being actually a good scene. My issue, kind of from the face of it, is Daenerys. I think her character is really weird in this episode. It's really weird arrogance that seemingly has not been a part of her character at all.
She somehow doesn't know that Robb was king in the north, but she knows that Bran and Rickon were burned.
Mm-hmm.
She says, you lost 2 brothers, but Jon's lost 3 brothers. He doesn't know that Bran's alive. Surely he doesn't know. So, because he's only just got to Winterfell in this episode, Bran. And he lost Rickon last season, and he knows he's lost Robb. So Jon acknowledging I've lost 2, he should be saying I lost 3.
Well, you would have that literal scene. You would say 3, and then he would... Really, Dany should know about Robb, because Tyrion should have fucking mentioned
because Dany, when Dany says you've lost 2 brothers, she can only assume that means Bran and Rickon, because she doesn't know who Robb is. Like, she says Torrhen Stark was the last king in the North.
What you're going to go for, you would have Jon respond with 3, and then talk about Robb. It feels so strange to me that Jon never talks about Robb. I don't get it. He hasn't talked about him since he died, really.
I actually think that one of the biggest problems with the late show is the lack of Robb Stark references in terms of like actual fundamental
substance. It feels like he's
substance.
such a forgotten part about the show,
which is stupid because Robb's so good. He's such a great character.
Is quite funny. The last scene of this episode actually does mention Robb. Jaime mentions it.
Yeah, he does.
How is Jaime remembering Robb better than Jon is?
Yeah, Robb is such a big part of Jon's arc as well. Like the comparison between them.
It feels like it's all come to that scene after where Jon finds out Robb has died, and then we don't get his reaction to it. And this has been a constant thing with me, and this part of Jon's character is the lack of real mention of his family. Yes, he's a bastard, but it's the one thing about his character since season 3 that I've had an issue with.
Even more than that, he never talks about Catelyn Stark. I know that he didn't like Catelyn, but the fact that he never mentions her at all, it's so strange.
There's so much breadth of material that you could get into with Robb dying and Catelyn and Catelyn dying.
One of my favorite things, like it's not in the show, but around the time, I think it's just before or maybe just after Robb dies in the books, like after the Red Wedding or just before it, Jon has a dream where he flashes back to when they were kids and they were playing with swords, and they were pretending to be lords, and then Jon says, "Oh, I'm Lord Stark," and then Robb stops and he looks at him and says, "But you're not a Stark, you're a bastard." And it's like an actual moment from their childhood where Robb called him a bastard, and it's like a really painful moment for him.
Had this show gone like 9 or 10 seasons, they actually probably could have gotten back to do that scene, actually.
Yeah. Like that, if that scene happened like around season 7 or whatever, like you actually had Jon remember Robb like calling him a bastard, like that would be so
and you bring
powerful.
The actor back for that scene, yeah. And you're doing both a mix of a fan service cameo, but also actually being significant to Jon's
imagine,
character.
and also imagine if because the sword fight is when they're kids, right? Have them as child actors, but when the conversation progresses, you have them transition into their adult versions.
Yeah, exactly. This is really basic stuff as well.
Yeah, I know.
This is what Ahsoka tried to do and failed.
Yeah. What's what season 7 of Game of Thrones is failing. It's like the lack of Robb acknowledgement from Daenerys and Jon in this episode is just insane.
And this isn't a season 6-7 issue. This is an issue I've had since season 3. So, but again, I guess we'll talk about Daenerys again. I don't understand where this arrogance has come from in terms of her acting to Jon.
She's hypocritical as well. The sins of the father thing. She saying don't judge a girl by the sins of her father, but then she judges Jon by the sins of Ned.
Like she gets fucking, are you calling me a child? And then Tyrion rightfully says, I think he's referring to everybody. I don't think he was talking about specifically you. Which is the smartest thing Tyrion said in that scene.
She's coming across as like really insecure in the conversation, which is really strange.
Despite what Jon said, she is coming across as a child who's dragging her feet at not being bowed down to.
What's weird about it, though, is that when she was negotiating with people in Slaver's Bay, she was not like this at all. Like, she was very powerful in her negotiation.
But I guess the argument would be, well, she's now built up her, I guess, aura, I guess you could say, and she's very confident in herself now.
Acknowledge me, Jon Snow.
It kind of does actually feel like that. It feels like Roman Reigns. But obviously Roman's a better actor than Emily Clark, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, he is now. Not around this time. Not around 2017.
Not in 2017. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Definitely not. What was he doing around this time?
It was when he beat Undertaker at Mania.
Yeah.
This is my yard now.
Big dog. This is fucking hell, man.
And then at the end of 2017 is when he had the Cena promo for No Mercy.
That was sort of after SummerSlam, really. That was after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But I guess this is what this scene is trying to do. And but what the thing I do appreciate with this scene is the characterization of Jon in this scene specifically. Ignoring the dialogue not being up to snuff, but I do appreciate his stance because it's exactly what he would do.
What I like about it is that his climate change activism sort of part of his character is being challenged by a monarch, and that's far more interesting than what we've gotten before, because the stuff at the wall with that was really basic with like Alice of Thorn and all that. Like they didn't actually develop it properly. They just made it like I don't like wildlings and you're letting them in. You know, it wasn't developed in the same way that it should have been. This is different because Daenerys genuinely at the start doesn't believe Jon. Like she thinks he's lying for power. So there's an actual different understanding of what is true and what's not, and Tyrion is kind of the middleman between them on it, because Tyrion doesn't believe in White Walkers, but he does believe that Jon's not a liar. So he has to kind of grapple with that mentally and then try to translate that to Daenerys. The issue I have is that her coming around to Jon is way too rushed.
Yeah, that scene they have outside is very strange because it's like, oh, I'm suffering up because we spent time together now.
I do think there was a bit of foreshadowing on the bridge, though, that was quite purposeful, as when Jon says, I'm not a Stark, falls over and the dragon falls over him. I'll probably talk about that more when we get to like the recap of season 7. Because there's a bit to talk about in regards to that.
But again, I briefly mentioned it, but the one thing I want to say is that if you're going to have Tyrion not talk about, Robb to Daenerys to keep her updated what's fucking happened, in the north, you would literally have Jon say, no, I've lost 3. I lost Robb, who was the last king of the north, and he died.
Because Jaime, as you said, Jaime mentions Robb at the end. Like, imagine if this was like a Robb heavy episode in terms of talking about the Seven Kingdoms. Like,
what's the history of what's happened in the north? Yeah,
he would surely be a key part of discussion in this episode.
Mm-hmm. The last person to go up against the Lannisters. That actually would be very apt in parallel to now what Dany's trying to do.
Fucking hell. Okay, so there's more. I've just remembered there's more that was missing. So Daenerys has taken this castle which Stannis held, right? Stannis was considered her usurper because he was Robert's brother. Jon has met Stannis. That is very important information, as well as the fact that Davos Seaworth served Stannis Baratheon. None of that comes into conversation. And it's common knowledge. Tyrion knows that Davos served Stannis Baratheon because they mention the Blackwater. The other thing that they don't talk about, which really pisses me off, is the fact that Jon has met Maester Aemon, who is a Targaryen. And maybe if he wanted to get Daenerys on his side, he could probably mention that he's met, her great uncle. Like, wouldn't that be useful? Like, Jon has met the Mad King's uncle at the Wall that Daenerys didn't even know. She even says in the episode, I am the last Targaryen. And he could have said, I have met a Targaryen once and he's no longer with us. He was your great uncle, Maester Aemon. And
well, you could say, you'd say the effect of something, obviously in good dialogue, you do the effect of like, well, at one point you weren't, very recently.
And if she says, how do you know this is true, Tyrion can back him up because he's also met Aemon Targaryen as well.
It'd be something to bring up.
Yeah. And also, another weird thing about this whole thing is the fact that, like, I don't really understand why Jon wants to hide the fact that he was killed and brought back. Like, what's the reason?
Well, because they then do a setup later of, like, what do you think he meant by that?
Oh, Jesus. Also, like, some of the weird jokes, like, I think they were trying to do the thing, because in Season 6, Tyrion says, a wise man once said blah, blah, blah. Who said that? Me, just now. And now in this episode, she's like, who said that? He's like, I don't know. It was obviously him saying it, but he doesn't want to
reveal. I would never do that to you. It's just not great comedy, unfortunately. It's just not very good. And the scene at the cliff, I guess we can also talk about quickly. Tyrion telling him, maybe talk to other people about the Queen. Get to know her a little. Again, it feels like a Baldur's Gate 3 quest cutscene of like, you need to do this. And then we get the scene later. It's sort of, yes. It's really weak stuff in terms of dialogue.
There was another scene on the cliff with Varys and the Red Woman. Obviously, the Red Woman has to leave because Davos Seaworth is there.
This also felt like fan service setup of like meta-ness.
The scene was so annoying and frustrating because the performances, especially from Conleth Hill, were great, but the dialogue was terrible.
I feel like the dialogue from her was really bad.
Yeah.
I thought Varys was actually quite fine in this scene. It's her saying, like, after saying, I don't think you should return to Westeros, you wouldn't be safe here, and then she says, I will come back one last time.
It's very, it's very like forced series arc kind of dialogue, if you get what I mean.
It feels like a bad version of Hartnell. One day I shall be back. Yes,
well, I was thinking more like the end of Devil's Cord with Maestro.
Oh yeah, it does. The one who waits is almost here.
I must die in this continent.
I love you, Russell, but man, your dialogue in season 1 was not great.
Also, the fucking another problem they have with this season is like confusing mystical dialogue. They had it with the Red Woman, they had it with Bran, and they had it with Littlefinger as well.
Well, is that all? I think that's all of Dragonstone, isn't it, that we talked about?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
we had a little bit where they talked about Euron's fleet.
Actually, you know what? Technically, it's not Dragonstone, but it's the same storyline. Let's talk about Castle Rock.
Yeah, I guess you have more beef on this than I do, because
it's so this is terrible. So, okay, so fuck me. In terms of the world building, fact that they go by sea instead of land is an interesting choice, because by land it's straight across the map from east to west, whereas by sea you have to go out of Blackwater Bay, you have to go south past the Stormlands and then past Dawn, down through the south, around through Old Town, the Reach, Highgarden, the west, go up past the Iron Islands, and then you're at the Westerlands where Castle Rock is. Massive journey on sea. Castle Rock looks like shit. It's supposed to... I'll show you a picture. George Martin has released artwork of what he wants Castle Rock to look like in the next book. It's supposed to be based on Gibraltar, which is a real place in the world. So here's a... George Martin openly said he didn't like the way they made it in the show. I think he said it on like one of those night talk shows. But anyway, so the one on the right is the one from this episode, and the one on the left is how it's supposed to look. It's supposed to be like a big rock with windows coming out of it, but instead they just made it like a generic bland castle on a cliffside.
It just feels a little bit like Dragonstone.
Yeah, like Dragonstone, but white.
But yeah, white and flatter.
Yeah. Whereas the one on the left is super cool. Rushed pacing as well. Like in terms of the season, the pacing is insanely rushed.
The fight is like, I don't understand why they're doing a montage. Oh, we do this and fail. Actually, we do this other thing and succeed.
Yeah. Also, the I don't give a shit about this castle because it has no gold left is not a good argument. There should be more to that. The Tyrion reference to Bronn, the like, give me good men with some climbing spikes that impregnate the bitch. They didn't use climbing spikes. This is not an apt reference. This is forced.
They sail to a hole.
Yeah, it's very not fitting. Then probably the worst thing about it is the fact that Grey Worm had no idea that the Iron Fleet was lurking behind them.
What's going on? I thought there'd be more men. Turns left, and then he sees his entire fleet getting bombarded.
Absolutely enormous fleet was behind them. No one thought to scout or telescope or anything. And then he's
a lot
like,
of ships were already destroyed.
Yep. And then he turns around, looks over the bloody wall, and he's got like the shocked Pikachu meme face. Yeah, the Castle Rock shit was just dire. It was all bad.
I like the bit of him screaming at the dead soldier who in a shot, his eyes are closed and very clearly dead, and he's just yelling at it, "Where are the Lannisters?"
Also, there's a change they make from the books, which it's not about in terms of changing necessarily the issue. The issue I have with it is the logic from Tywin in terms of the change. Funny, we're talking about Tywin Lannister being ruined more. In the source material, Tyrion is assigned to clean the sewers, which I completely understand that. In this episode, he says that Tywin assigned him to build the sewers. I feel like Tywin having trust in Tyrion to make major renovations to his castle is a bit of a stretch. I feel like just having him clean it works a lot better than having him build it. And you don't even need to have him say, "Oh, build the sewers," because if Tyrion cleans the sewers, he already knows the information he knows anyway about like how to sneak in, because in the process of cleaning the sewers, he will have found this out. But by having him build the sewers, you're now having Tywin, put more trust in his son that he hates and more responsibility over his castle than is necessary. So I do think that's a bit of a stretch to say that Tywin did that. Yeah, Castle Rock sucks. They built it up throughout the entire show as this place that the Lannisters come from, and the one scene we get of it is bad. Also, they could have Jaime do what Robb did in season 1, another reference.
Yeah.
What Robb Stark did to me at the Whispering Wood. Talk about that one little scene with Theon.
Kind of feels... I know it's established where he is at this point in time, but it kind of feels so meaningless to the rest of the episode.
Again, how was he not captured by Euron? All he did was jump out. Like, how could they not fish him out of the water?
Feels weird to him to say, "I tried to save her, even though I clearly didn't because I ran away." It feels like his character's taking a slight step backwards.
I want you to talk about this because this is fucking hilarious. Talk about Euron Greyjoy in this episode.
I mean, he's a jester fuckboy, that's what he is. I mean, let's be honest, that's what he is.
I gotta be honest, it's making me hard.
So bad.
Yeah.
He's just a joker, that's what he is. He's nothing more than just a joker.
Also, the way that Cersei, like, I understand, like, I feel like what they're trying to do is they're trying to do the scene from Blackwater where Cersei tells Sansa, "Use what's between your legs to your advantage," but they're not doing it in a very smart way. They're doing it in a very simple way, where she's like, "You have your heart's desires," basically like offering up herself on a silver platter for Euron. Like, she's smarter than this.
His demeanor should be more of his delivery of "what a twat."
Well, if they're gonna do the frat boy Euron character, it should be more like that, as opposed to, "How does she like it? Rough or soft? A finger in the bum. We'll talk later."
So bad. It's not funny.
He's a meme at this point.
I mean, yeah, that's what he is. He's a meme. He feels so out of place in the rest of the show.
He's supposed to be like replacing Ramsay as the next big male bad in the world.
Yeah, he feels more jestery than Ramsay did.
Yeah. It's like Ramsay was a downgrade from Joffrey, and then Euron's a downgrade from Ramsay.
Again, he's a pompous jester, yet that's not really what he should be, and it's really poorly done anyway. He should be like a really stoic and like almost just completely he knows how good he is. He doesn't need to flamboyantly show off. He just is good. He's good at what he does.
Let me find a Euron book quote.
Oh, a finger in the bum. He obviously said that in the book.
Oh, obviously. Who knows more of gods than I? Horse gods and fire gods, gods made of gold with gemstone eyes, gods carved of cedar wood, gods chiseled into mountains, gods of empty air, I know them all. I have seen their peoples garland them with flowers and shed the blood of goats and bulls and children in their names. And I have heard the prayers in 500 tongues. Cure my withered leg, make the maiden love me, grant me a healthy son. Save me, succor me, make me wealthy, protect me. Protect me from mine enemies, protect me from the darkness, protect me from the crabs inside my belly, from the horse lords, from the slavers, from the sellswords at my door, protect me from the silence, he laughed. Godless, why Aaron? I am the godliest man to raise sail, you serve one goddamn hair. But I have served 10,000, from Ib to Ashai, where men see my sails, they pray. There's a meme comparing the two. I remember I sent this to Anthony a while ago. Traveled to Old Valyria and brought back Dragonbinder, takes almost no loot for himself when raiding, owned a dragon egg, drowns people in casks of seawater, chains warlocks and wizards to the hold of his ship, forces his brother to follow his orders, and they do, owns Valyrian steel armor. Show Euron, demands 1,000 ships on an island with barely any trees, doesn't realize that Tyrion has no way of knowing Cersei was pregnant, has two good hands, is the man who killed Jaime Lannister. Finger in the bum!
1,000 ships, 2 good hands.
Oh dear. Euron's so cool in the books. Why did he have to be like this? Fuck me. Should we talk about how Jaime and Cersei have sex and then she doesn't care that Bernadette sees them? I'm the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, I'll do what I want.
Yeah. Just...
So she has no regard for Jaime's wish for privacy.
No, and he seemingly doesn't care either, apparently.
Well, he laughs it off.
Exactly. That's sort of the worst part about that bit.
I will say, in terms of direction, I do like the kind of really fucked up notion that they show Jaime and Cersei being like really romantic in the morning. Like they're holding each other.
It's really gross. It's
really tenderly.
Gross. Yeah, I hate it.
There was one amazing scene in King's Landing, though, that we have to talk about. It's one of the best scenes, if not the best scene of Season 7. It's either this or it's the Olenna scene at the end, minus the High Garden takeover. It's the scene with Cersei, Alaria Sand, and Tyene Sand with Qyburn and the mountain.
Really good scene.
This was pure Cersei at her best. This was set up in Season 5 when she poisoned Marcella. I still don't like the poison thing, like the only cure and everything. I don't like the Sand Snake characters. I think they're all cringe. The whole Season 5 arc with Dawn was crap. But as a payoff for Cersei, this was about as good as you could have gotten.
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
And Lena Headey does an amazing performance in the scene as well, and the dialogue too.
She is insane in this scene.
Yeah. Killed with lesbian pollen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was quite taken aback by the fact she started kissing her.
It was very perverted as well. She's like, she's so beautiful, and she's also like really young too. Like she's probably underage. But yeah, Alaria Sand got her just desserts. I remember in this scene, I was taken back to the Purple Wedding episode when you have that scene with Cersei and Tywin talking to Oberyn and Alaria Sand. It kind of took me back to that scene. I really like the dialogue when Cersei says like, you know, Oberyn looks so beautiful that day, and I heard the cracking of his skull. I heard the sound of your scream, and yet Oberyn's dead in the ground, and Gregor is stronger than ever. Like, it was so good. It's like, oh man, how do they do this? How does Dave and Dan have the ability to make a scene like this, but then they make shite as well? It's just so insane.
It's the acting from everybody involved was really good. Yeah, I was very impressed by the scene quite a bit. It was the strongest bit of dialogue probably from the whole episode, other than the final scene. I enjoyed the direction and the visuals a lot, and I think the direction of the actors was very much on point and suited what they were going for in the scene.
Qyburn was really good in that.
Felt very just emotionless and like sadistic in tone. Oh yeah, could be hours or days, but they would die. Oh yes, death is certain indeed.
Yeah, it was lovely. Going back to again what I said about how this episode should have had more Robb connections. Let's not forget Qyburn was rescued by Robb in season 3, and he fixed Jaime's hand. Like, he's a very crucial element of that side of the story. That's something that the show seems to forget a lot, that Qyburn was rescued by Robb. It's almost like they immediately overlook it after season 3. It's very weird. So we also had a scene with Cersei and Tycho Nestoris, played by Mark Gatiss from the Iron Bank. I think what they're trying to do with this is they're trying to be like, well, Stannis died, and the Iron Bank has to either choose now to invest in Cersei or Daenerys. And his argument was, well, Daenerys has dragons and you have wooden ships. Cersei is trying to bargain by being like, right, well, I will take all the crops and gold from Highgarden, which is why they do the invasion of Highgarden, execution-wise or not, and then I'll give it to you so that I can pay back some of the debt, right? That's the idea. But I think an issue with the Iron Bank I have here is that I feel like their betrayal contradicts their established power. The idea that essentially they'll wash their hands of the Lannister debts by allowing Cersei to fully repay it, you know, which leaves them with less leverage to influence the political landscape. I just think what they're doing here is they're not allowing the Iron Bank to have a proper influence over the story. They're just trying to find an excuse to get them out of the story by having Cersei attempt to repay them. I would also, like, you know, I also think they probably should have had more lines about how they invested in Stannis and they were wrong to do so. And, like, how they, like, majorly fucked up big time by giving Stannis all that gold. But they don't seem to really address that properly. And I just think it's, like, yeah, I think the Iron Bank is being really underutilized in this instance. And it's kind of a bit of a cause and effect problem, isn't it? Because they established back in season 4 that scene with Tywin and Cersei that Casterly Rock's gold had run out. And so they're now having to address that here in season 7 because now they've injected that into the story. They now have to make it part of the story, and it's kind of pushed them into a corner where they need to do something about it. Yeah, I don't disagree with the idea of having Cersei claim, you know, all of the resources of Highgarden for herself to, you know, get the Iron Bank on his side. I just think the way they do it is just a bit weird. But the highlight of it for me is Mark Gatiss's performance. I think he really elevates the scene with his tone of voice and everything.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Acting is very good.
Man, that pin drop when Olenna says, "Not at all what I intended." I love that delivery. Oh, there's another meme I need to show you. Let's go to Winterfell. This was shit. This was all terrible. Firstly, Sansa apparently knows about leather on armor, even though she spent her whole childhood knitting and not doing anything combat related. They're trying to make her seem like the boss of Winterfell, but it just falls really flat.
It's really annoying.
Littlefinger is just weird and insane the way he's like, everything, everywhere, all at once. Every possibility of everything is happening at all times, and I live that way, and so should you. Always be prepared for anything. Even though he's at Winterfell and should have left if he's thinking that way, because he should have prepared for the fact that he's in mortal danger. What is there even to say about Littlefinger at this point?
Nothing to say at all. He's just around and he's not doing anything worth of note.
He's just embarrassing himself, really.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you talk about Bran.
What the fuck is... Why have they changed his character to be so weird and creepy and like void of any emotion? He wasn't like this in season 6.
So there's multiple issues here. Firstly,
he's like a fucking robot.
Firstly, he does the whole thing where he's like, it's hard to explain. Is it? Is it really hard to explain? Like, what is hard to explain about it?
Not if you say what's happened.
Just say what's happened.
But no, just gotta be vague about it because it's so
The
weird.
only thing you can assume is that he's deliberately trying to hide it from her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, I will never be lord of anything. Technically, he's not wrong, but I feel like that's quite deceiving to say that, given what happens at the end of season 8, but we'll get to that.
It is just this fucking shot of when Sansa is hugging Bran and he cuts to Bran's face and he has no emotion.
Yep. I will not be lord of anything. I'm the three-eyed raven.
Why is there no emotion? Why we changed his character to be just so weird and vague?
Then he referenced her rape with Ramsay. For some reason.
I don't know why he did that. It was really strange and out of nowhere and crazy and creepy. Is it literally just to prove to Sansa that he can see the future?
But he makes it so egregious. Like, he makes it graphic.
It's so... Why would he... Like, he's not... Bran suddenly becoming this just vacant, expressionless fortune teller is just so weird. He wasn't like this at all in season 6, so I don't understand the sudden change. This is like Capaldi in season 9.
He's a husk.
Really awful. He's not allowed to act anymore. He's just there and speaking.
It was so horrible what happened to you there that night, especially at home. The falling of the snow.
It's quite hard to explain. I shall stay a little bit longer.
The falling of the snow.
And your wedding dress.
You know.
Literally, it's just going to be like Sansa be like, he knew about my wedding and what happened. He obviously can tell the future. Instead of him just talking about it like an actual person.
Yeah, very creepy.
Yeah, really hated it. Fuck Winterfell. It's really shit at the moment.
Surely this is like the worst Bran scene so far. Like, this is so bad.
Oh, easily, yeah. This is the worst Bran has been in the entire show.
There's more bullshit. Sadly. At Old Town, bloody Jorah Mormont is magically healed. They never really explain what makes Sam special from the other maces, other than, I read the book and I followed the instructions.
He's just very good. They don't take any precautions of like, let's let you just stay here and let's see what happens before you go and touch people in the public. You would literally have him stay there for at least a week and see what happens. Letting him go like instantly the morning after is really silly.
Yeah, to diagnose him as cured is just insane. And even the fact that Sam was able to get away with it, like, that's crazy that he was able to just cure him so easily. We don't even have cures like that in the technologically advanced world. Like, we have things that can cure, or we have things that can aid, but like a disease that's gotten to this stage, like the equivalent of this is like Jorah Mormont is like stage 4. Like, he is so dead. And Sam just magically cuts it all off and it's all fixed.
The only thing about the scene that I really liked is the handshake they had, because for Mormont, it's actually quite a significant moment that he gets to touch someone for the first time since, I mean...
Thematically and character-wise, it's good. The only issue with that is, as you said, they probably should have like waited time to see if it would grow back.
Well, that's what you do. You have this scene happen in another episode where you say, all right, you've been here a week, nothing seems to happen, I think you're okay.
Again, quarantine, like, the pacing of the show is the problem, right? There should be a quarantine
we need to
period.
Get him out of there now. I like how they introduced that he was here in episode 1, and then they've finished it in episode 3.
They should work in a 3-act structure. They're missing act 2, the point where Ebros finds out what's happened, he punishes Sam in some way, and Jorah Mormont has to quarantine for like at least a week. And then after a week, they figure out, oh, actually he is cured. And then Ebros is like, well, I'm so shocked, Sam, that you actually did that.
Literally, you just move all this to another episode or 2 in a longer season. But no, we need to get... I guarantee you he'll be at Dragonstone next episode. This season is at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And it's like, the pacing is so bad. Like, we're already nearly halfway through the season, and like, so much has happened in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, it's crazy, like, because as an overall episode, this is probably better than the first 2, but in terms of pacing, it's actually way worse.
But that's sort of like the issue with the season rather than the episode itself.
Sure, yeah.
Like, we're just doing so much, and we're getting through. This arc is now already done with Mormont. It was introduced at the end of episode 1, and then it's already solved at the end of episode 3.
I mean, if you're going to do something in 3 episodes, you need to give it more screen time for it to resolve properly.
Like, Euron in episode 1 says, I need to get you a reward, and then in episode 3, I've gotten you your reward. I've got it, I've done it.
Yeah.
In 2 episodes.
And also like the fact that Jon and Daenerys just met and now he's mining dragon glass all in one episode.
Yeah, he's got dragon glass. It's just. Oh, if this was 10 episodes, you have all of this stuff that happened in this episode would happen in episode 5. You do the thing that fucking Tyrion suggested. You talk to other characters. You have Jon talk to Varys. You have Jon talk to Missandei.
Jaime goes all the way from King's Landing to High Garden in like half an episode.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. That's a huge distance.
Or the fact that Jon is already at Dragonstone after last episode is quite weird. The teleportation in this season is insane.
Bloody Grey Worm and Missandei shagged in the last episode, and now he's already at Casterly Rock, which is on the other side of the island. Westeros is not an island, it's a continent. It's massive. It's absolutely enormous.
It's like, just pure teleporting is what it is.
This feels like weeks. Like weeks has passed. Frustrating with Dave and Dan's writing in this. Very frustrating. In terms of Mark Mylod's direction, I'd say he did a pretty good job, though, overall, for the most part. Nothing looked terrible. It all looked pretty extravagant. It's just the way it's all clipped together. It's very suspect. Music, though, by Raymond Javadi, great. I thought he did a great job.
Really good. I thought the music was actually really good in this episode. Specifically High Garden.
Yeah, the High Garden music was so good. We better get on with it because we have some tracks to listen to. We have 6 tracks to listen to.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. Less episodes in the season, more songs in the album. We've got to cram them in somehow. So let's get on with it. The first track is called The Queen's Justice. It's the Lannister theme, but with season 7 pacing.
Yeah, that's a very apt way of describing it. But very, very good.
Yeah,
that was very good.
Such a good song.
Awesome stuff. It feels suited for this timeline. Everything gets pumped up just that one level up, really. I always like established themes going up like an octave, you know? I quite enjoy that. It's quite a like niche little thing I enjoy with music.
Or in the opposite case, when they get broken down for some reason.
Exactly. Kind of feels, it's like that with the Doctor's theme and the different versions of that. You know, you got the one from series 1 and then like from the album, but then you get the one in the show that they use in like specific scenes, like with Eccleston absorbing the energy of the time vortex.
And then there's also the turn left version that's all backwards and modulated.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. It's like reversed.
One of my favourite, and we talked about it a long time ago, but one of my favourite broken down themes in Game of Thrones is Kingslayer from season 3. That's a baller song. Na, 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 na. And they play it in the scene in the bathtub where he talks about the Mad King. The next song, interestingly, is from the season 7 soundtrack, but it's actually the title of a season 5 episode, and that is The Gift. Oh no, it's not. It's Euron.
Yeah, because he's giving the
yeah, true.
The gift to Cersei.
It annoys me that Yoren has such a cool theme because he's such a shit character.
Finger in the bum.
Finger in the bum. Yeah, that was great. Great atmosphere, great dark tone, great bombast. Loved it. Oh, I'm looking forward to the next one. The third track is called The Long Farewell. So good.
Mm-hmm.
And that little Cersei motif at the end as well. Most famously played in Light of the Seven. It has the sound of like almost like the poison's going in. And it's got this like sort of deranged death over it, like almost like a Grim Reaper noise. And then it has this very faint, sad violin in the background to emphasize the sad, like the tragedy of watching her daughter die.
I thought it was very, very, very neat.
Next song we have is Casterly Rock.
I'm sure this song will be better than the scene itself.
Oh, you'd hope so. Yeah, good unsullied theme. I just hate the scene.
Yeah. Very good stuff. But yeah, the scene itself is quite weird.
Yep. Now a much better song. Much, much, much better. A Lion's Legacy. Yes, I believe this is the takeover of Highgarden, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the Lannister theme is always a classic. Na, 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 na. Ah, yes. The last song, number 6, is Message for Cersei. So good.
Exactly like I said earlier, it's that going into a higher octave. It brings out more in the scene of that reveal to Jaime and his reaction to it.
Yeah, it's so good. It's not only a song that is instrumenting the death of Olenna Tyrell, but it's also the reveal that she killed Joffrey to Jaime as well, and the Lannister theme playing over it. I really like Nikolai's performance in that scene as well. The way he looks like you can just tell he hates that he's been fucked with. Yeah, so only a couple of things to mention about the books. Tycho Nestoris talks about dragons with Jon, not Cersei, and Tywin instructs Tyrion to clean the sewers, not build them, which I already mentioned. Yeah, so viewership. Last episode got 9.27, which was a downgrade from the 10.11 that the first episode got. Episode 3 got 9.25, so basically the same as the last episode.
That's to be honest, that is pretty good. If it's staying the same, that's pretty good.
It's a pretty good baseline for season 7.
The fact that it doesn't have a dip is quite significant, actually.
The marketing for season 7 was very strong in terms of attracting viewers. Yeah, give your conclusion and rating out of 10 for the Queen's Justice.
2 extremely standout scenes, with Cersei and Jaime being the standout, I guess, characters in this episode for significant moments and good acting. Characterization was at least better, or at least it was in a more consistent manner, but characters like Daenerys were just so awful in terms of how they reacted to other people. Dialogue was especially poor. Euron is just... he's just a fucking clown. And the fast pace is quite overbearing, and it's becoming quite comedic at this point, the teleporting of locations. It's better than the last 2 episodes, but it's still not a good episode. It is just a better episode. So I would say it's probably a 4.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. The Cersei Sand Snakes scene was great. The Olenna Jaime dialogue was great. Everything else was weird, very strange. The Jon Daenerys scene had a lot of potential, like for them to meet as well with Davos and Tyrion, but it just unstable foundations and the neglecting of Rob's existence in the show was a massive issue for me. The Castle Rock stuff was terrible. The Iron Bank sort of underpowering themselves was a weird choice. As you said, Euron is a massive tool. The Theon scene was odd. The Varys Melisandre scene was odd. Teleporting characters and breakneck pacing is destroying the show's sort of world building and foundational pacing. The Winterfell stuff was diabolical. And yeah, Sam repairing Jorah so quickly at Old Town is just very strange. Breakneck pacing and world building is crumbling beneath the show, and the rushing of so many arcs. I'm very tempted to give this a 4 because there's so many issues, but purely on the strength of some of the performances from like Mark Gatiss and Ian Glenn and Jim Broadbent and obviously Nicola Costa-Waldau, Lena Headey, Diana Rigg, and the strength of the writing in the scenes with Cersei killing Tyene Sand and Olenna revealing to Jaime that she killed Joffrey. I'm going to be kind and give this a 4.5. It's still a bad episode, but it's redeemed by a couple of highlights, but it still has a lot of issues that I think plague season 7. And in some ways, this episode is actually worse than the other 2, just mainly to do with like world building and pacing, I think. Next time we have episode 4, the halfway point in the season, I should say. It is The Spoils of War.
I know that's a very significant title. I know that is relatively out of the title names. I know that's a significant one, so I'm expecting a massive moment from it then.
Yeah. In terms of going forward with the storylines that we have had in this episode, what do you kind of expect from the Spoils of War?
Not really sure in terms of what is next in terms of the timeline. I guess we'll see as it comes, because Jon is now going to be mining Dragonglass. I don't know when he's going to be able to go back. Not sure what's going to happen now in terms of King's Landing going forward. It's sort of like
Jaime has captured all the crops at Highgarden.
Yeah.
And you have to assume the Unsullied have to flee Casterly Rock because their ships have been destroyed. Yeah, and of course, Euron is obviously going to look forward to the possibility of betting Cersei. Where do you think Theon's going to go next?
Probably... I think he's regressing. It's what I think is happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
That seemingly is the case at the moment.
They're kind of teasing like Reek is still kind of under there. Winterfell, though.
Oh, don't even fucking...
We didn't have any Arya in this episode at all.
No, we didn't. I'm imagining she's going to show up next. I'm imagining she's going to show up at the end of the season then. That's what my prediction is anyway.
Oh, what about Jorah Mormont? Surely he's going to go back to Dragonstone, because he would know that that's where Daenerys would go. So. And Samwell Tarly has to clean some books. We haven't had any, like, really, we haven't had any of, like, Castle Black at all, apart from the first scene.
Yeah.
that was The Queen's Justice. We'll see you all next time for Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 4, The Spoils of War. I bid you adieu, a good night, and a goodbye. A bang.